Hi cozy people, so today I have something possibly the most exciting ever that I've ever shared with you, and that is my book, The Chemistry Test. So a lot of people know what they're in for with publishing. I didn't really know anything, I just went into it blindly, and so that's why we have a photo instead of a book, because I haven't actually seen my own book yet, but I do have not just a publishing deal, we have a book because I have gone through the majority of the process and it is now available for pre-order. I have shared bits and bobs about this along the way, so this is that book that I have been working on since 2017. In 2017, the only person who had read the couple chapters that I wrote were my friend Amy, and it was Amy who sort of let me know that I was on the right track and to keep going. And so I did until 2018, and then my circumstances changed and essentially I was going to have to live in this room unless I did something drastic about it. And being bedbound, I was like, I can't have that be my life. So I went to university. My book went on hold because, as I say, I was just there to get a better bedroom. Then I left university, and at that point I became legally homeless and I moved into a homeless shelter. My life was awful. I was bedbound, homeless, like things could not be going worse for me. And where I was so unwell, there was no way I could even have a part-time work from home job. I just wasn't well enough for anything except the thing that I had been doing my whole life, which was writing books. So I had been writing books from as young as like 8 years old, and not just little ones, like fully fledged books. And I think the reason that I was able to continue when my health was so bad was because as a child I'd already laid out the groundwork. I'd already learnt, taught myself how to do it. And so when I was in this first homeless shelter, I was only in that one for 3 weeks, but I started the book and did quite a lot of it there. Looking back, I am quite surprised by that I didn't even take I just didn't stop. I left uni and I was thinking, what's one of my dreams, what can I do? So I started it, and I called my book Closer Than Yesterday because a big theme in the book is doing little things to be closer to where you want to be. And like, life may not be perfect, but each day you can be closer to where you want to be than you were yesterday. And I lived by this mantra of closer than yesterday. And then I moved to a new homeless shelter, continued writing the book. I had lost my 24/7 care, so I was like fully bedridden at this point. And so I just escaped in my head into this world, and I made it the most loving, cozy, safe, incredible place to be, and I'm so happy that I get to share that with you. So yeah, I wrote that, left the homeless shelters into another bad housing situation, entered it into a competition. I thought the competition was big-ish, but mostly small. Spoiler, it wasn't small. I won the competition, and then eventually I did get the book deal and then worked on it with the team, which brings us to where we are now. So I entered the competition with this blurb/pitch, which was: Penelope Steele feels like she's living life in reverse. She's 18 years old but can no longer walk to the end of her road or get through the day without a nap. Her genetic condition is threatening to take away everything she loves, but with the help of a snazzy new wheelchair and the charming, rambunctious CJ, her story starts where she thought it would end. What she doesn't know is that CJ is facing a secret battle of his own, and when their lives become entangled in more ways than one, they soon realise that they may have signed up for more than they bargained for, and no bargain comes without a price. So yeah, that was my pitch, and that actually is still the story. That hasn't changed. One thing that has changed is that my title, Closer Than Yesterday, is now The Chemistry Test. So essentially, where it's a book deal, this is now a collaborative thing between me and the publisher. The publisher are Montlake, who are part of Amazon, which is just incredible because they are a leading publisher in the digital space. They focus on like Kindle Unlimited and ebooks and digital stuff, but they also do have a paperback.
And there'll be an audiobook, and that's me just resting there.
And then I thought I would just share a bit more about the book, because until now I've not really been able to share anything about it. So this was a note from someone on the team, and they said, "I just adore this world. I want to live in a Georgina world where everyone is compassionate and supportive of each other, where there's so much to experience, where people don't have to be afraid to make mistakes because they'll find a way to learn from them." And I loved that because it does sum it up quite well, what the world is like in the book. Sorry, I got cut off there, but I was saying the blurb from the publishers is a bit longer, so I'll put it on the screen if you'd like to read it. The end of it says, one thing I know that they've said is that fans of Ali Hazelwood, and I think the other one was Hannah Bonham Young, would enjoy this story. And I have read some of Ali Hazelwood's work, and I agree. My characters are a little bit younger, so mine is not as it's not got a heavy focus on science by any means. It's more to do with finding your own path in life, and also not finding your own path in life. Like, that was something that I wanted to share as well in this story, was that life doesn't always have one clear path, and actually for most people it doesn't. Now, as I say, this has been the most incredible process, but it has looked different for me than for other people, like you might expect. And there's also been things that have worked in my favour. So, like the fact that I'm working with Montlake at Amazon, who have a lot of focus on the digital space, has meant that, I mean, for authors, most of them actually do work from home anyway. There is so much more that I want to share about this, but I can feel myself crashing, so I may have to wrap this up soonish. But yeah, this process did look different for me than for a lot of people. Like, a lot of people could have done this a lot sooner than me. I, for example, where I have been, I've been mostly bedbound for like 10 years now, but I have been even more so the past couple years, to the extent that I didn't get to take my author photo. My author photo is a selfie in my pyjamas, which was, I didn't take it with the intent for it to be my author photo, so that's why it's in my pyjamas. But it's also like, I may not be rational, but I feel like maybe people won't notice that I'm in my pyjamas because it is still a nice photo. And then there are things as well, like the fact that I don't have an agent. And the reason I don't have an agent, which is getting an agent offer is like a once in a lifetime opportunity that many people don't even get in their lifetime. And I turned mine down due to how unwell I am. Like, when you have an agent, they're not attached to a book, they're attached to you. And I would have to be well enough to continue writing books, and I'm just not well enough to commit to doing this as a career in the same way that other people are. That being said, I have done what I set out to do, which is putting my absolute all into this one book, and it has been challenging at times. It has made me, I have pushed myself too far at times. But it's what I've always wanted to do, and it has changed my life in the best ways. A lot of people will say, well, I'm still in the difficult housing situation that I've always been in, and my health isn't any better, my health is actually worse, which is true, but I did what I could, and this was the best thing I could do for myself. It was a dream that I always wanted to do. And I've achieved that now. I'm aware as well that writing it was just like half of the process, and now I have to sell it, and I'm hoping as well to do a lot of people proud with this book. Like, I'm hoping to do Amazon proud, because it's not a common thing to pick up a book like this, which has someone in a wheelchair on the cover. Like, you don't see that much in mainstream media. I'm too brain fogged to think properly now, like I don't know if media is the right word. And that's the thing, is that writing a book, I think people think that like my mental state has to be, as in like my cognitive ability has to be amazing all the time. It hasn't been. I've just like worked in every better moment that I've had. But yeah, I'm really hoping that I can prove to Amazon that it was worth picking up a book like this and show them that we deserve this place in mainstream media. Because the story really can apply to like anyone. It's a coming of age story. It's about finding your path in life. It's about how there's not just one path in life anyway, and not just finding but creating it. It's about all of those things. And then for the chronic illness community as well, I really hope that this does this proud. I really hope that people like it. I really hope that it finds its readers. But yeah, I really hope that you like this story if you give it a chance. It is available for pre-order. You can find it at Amazon, Target, these are online places, and I will link them as well. Barnes & Noble, WH Smith. This honestly is just a dream that I get to say that. This is what I mean, like even though it hasn't changed my health situation, even though I've pushed myself and I've, been really unwell at times, and I've not improved my housing situation either, this isn't about any of that. This is just about a dream that I had, that I have been able to achieve, and it's exciting to see how far this dream is going to go, because it has the potential to go far if enough people pick it up. And hopefully, if enough people do, the people that will love it will find it. And I really hope people will love it, and I hope you love it if you pick it up. So I think I'll leave that there. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.